4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's Monday, May 11th, 2009. This is Middle Eye. What's going on, YouTube? What's going on, world? I am really thankful for the amount of response on the swine flu video. I was really impressed with the way that everybody, put some comments in there and whatnot. And I had asked you, what do you want me to talk about? There weren't really a lot of you that really said, like, what you wanted me to talk about specifically. But one person, and I don't know your username at this time, because I don't have internet, so I can't really look at it. One person said, hey, you know what I want you to talk about? I'd like you to talk about some things that you're passionate about, whatever it is. Because when you do that, then, well, I may be paraphrasing, but basically I think they were saying that you're going to talk about the things that you really are passionate about, and it's going to be a much more appealing video. So I want to do that. So I wrote down a few things. I've got I've got three topics to talk about today that have really been on my mind for quite a while. 3 things that I'm passionate about. Number 1, chivalry. Okay, chivalry. Chivalry's been kind of driving me crazy lately. I don't see it as much. I'm not sure about the responses that you get, especially I'm talking about from women towards men. Just not really sure if people believe if chivalry's dead or not these days. I don't know what the deal with that is. I want to start out by saying, though, that I totally don't believe that chivalry's dead. I was raised up to, treat women special and to, the opening of the doors, the flowers, the, I don't know where it goes beyond that, pulling the chair out, when a woman leaves a table, whether you're sitting next to her or not, you stand up. What I find is the most common chivalrous act is opening the door. You are in front of a girl, whether she's with you or not, and you open the door. Now, what I've been finding about that lately is some women, think it's wonderful. And that's great. I think it's wonderful. I think it's a good thing. Whether it's a car door or a door to a gas station or whatnot. Then you get girls that are confused by it and don't expect it to the point where they don't know what to do, and then they're like, no, that's okay. And then you get girls that are totally offended by it for the reason, I believe, that they think that if you open a door for them, that you're hitting on them, and they'll be like, I'm married. Really? Really, you're married? Oh, I just opened the door for you. I didn't, ask you to marry me. I didn't ask you to, go do the nasty. It's not nasty, but I didn't ask you to go, bump uglies or whatever. It's not ugly. I didn't ask you to go do anything. I just simply opened the door for you. Seriously? I'm married? Or are they just no, please. And they don't want you to open the door because they're offended because they feel in modern times that men should happen to open the door for women because there's this equality thing. But I don't care. I want to open the door for you. Is that such a bad thing? Get in the car. No, I'm not going to get in first and start it. I will open the door for you, not just simply hit the remote unlock. I may walk around, and I may not do that all the time, but if you've never rode with me before, I probably will do that. I will probably open the door for you. It's in my nature. It just is. So, ladies, feedback on that. Do you like men, your man, other men? Do you like men in general to be chivalrous, or is it completely dead? Number 2, chivalry, gratuity. Some people out there are going, who? Gratuity, like as in gratitude, but gratuity, tipping. Tipping. How do you tip? Had a little discussion with a guy on Twitter the other day. I sent it out. I was like, hey, does everybody tip? What does everybody think about tipping? Because seriously, this is what I'm seeing nowadays. People are either not tipping or not tipping very well at all. B, people don't know what is proper to tip. People have a disregard for whether, just a bad attitude about tipping is what I want to say. Just a bad attitude. Why do I need to tip? So let me get into this. This is going to take probably quite a little while. When in Rome, do as the Romans do, right? Everybody knows that rule. Well, when you go to a place where tipping is part of that job, it's time to tip, people, okay? So here's a couple examples. A, you go to a restaurant, and it's a sit-down restaurant, and it's wait to be seated, okay? There's two differences right there, and that is where I put a dividing line usually, because usually if you're waiting to be seated, then that means your server comes to get you, and it usually means there's typically more service, because when you're waiting to be seated, the seat that you sit at is important because the restaurant's divided into those areas for the servers. Okay, so there's wait to be seated and seat yourself. Now, when you go to these places, expect if you're going to a wait to be seated restaurant, you should know that you should be tipping 20%. Easy, bare minimum, really. A seat yourself, you may tip 15%, but it kind of depends on the service. You know what I mean? Like. And those are just my rules. You can put your rules in, but that's really, at this current time, at least where I live, that's where it's at. Let's say you have a waitress then, and you're at a wait to be seated event or whatever, at a wait to be seated restaurant, and she is very much on top of your glasses on your drink. She's very on top of making sure that you're okay. She does maybe a little extra, whatnot. You should be at 25%. You shouldn't just tip her 20 because you're at a wait-to-be-seated restaurant and that's just the protocol. If you can't tip, if you don't want to tip, go to McDonald's. Well, I want to go out to eat, but then I don't want to tip. Like, seriously? Like, come on. If you can't do it, then... If you can't afford it, then you can't afford to go out to eat. Go buy some groceries and go cook at home. I'm not trying to be rude. It's rude of people to not tip your waiters, your waitresses, any kind of thing. If you don't tip, then it's ridiculous for you to even be there. You don't respect that person who's doing that job enough to tip them, and they just wasted their time on you. They could have been waiting on patrons that do tip, or tip well. Oh, well, the federal minimum wage should come in, and they shouldn't be getting paid $3.50 an hour. If they had to pay minimum wage, the people who own the restaurant, they just wouldn't be in business. Because people aren't always coming in. They do that minimum wage based on the fact that at the $3.50 an hour, you're doing that much for the restaurant, really. But the patrons, the ones that you're really serving when business is going on, because why would you pay somebody $8 an hour to not really do anything during the time that it's not busy? No, you pay them $3.50 an hour so that they get a wage, and then they come in, and based on their service, the patrons take care of the rest, and it's expected. I mean, come on, it just is expected. It's where we live, people. You don't want to tip, come on, seriously. And, number 3, manners. Not going to go into this way too much. Just, please, people, please and thank you. Okay, I've been seeing so many times that people does something and they will say thank you, and somebody else does not even bother to say you're welcome. People don't bother to say thank you. Ladies, if a guy opens the door for you, don't act like he doesn't exist. Like, I mean, okay, it should be expected, I believe, for chivalry, but you can say thank you. I mean, I've seen so much. I'm not gonna not open a door if a girl doesn't say thank you, but I mean, it just, come on, people. Manners, some chivalry, and gratitude, gratuity. Okay, let's spread it around. That's what makes this world go round. So that's what was on my mind Monday, May 11th, 2009. Comments and ratings, please. And man, if you want to subscribe to this, do it up. And please follow me at Twitter, twitter.com/Damian Hansen. Link in the sidebar. Been good, guys. Here's to you guys.